Hey everyone, welcome back to Reddit Rewinds, the channel where we dive into the wildest, creepiest, and most unforgettable stories straight from Reddit. Tonight's story might sound unusual at first, almost absurd. But the deeper you go, the more unsettling it becomes. Imagine being paid to cry at funerals. Easy money, right? But what if the funerals themselves weren't what they seemed? Stay tuned, because this one blurs the line between acting and something far darker. Storyteller is a young actress living in Texas. She's out of work, auditions have dried up, and her savings are gone. Then she stumbles across a strange Craigslist ad. Mourners wanted, must show emotion on cue. Cash paid same day. Desperate, she takes the job. The first day is awkward. She's at a funeral for a woman she never knew, surrounded by grieving children, clutching a tissue and forcing out tears. Somehow, she pulls it off. At the end, she gets an envelope of cash. Relief washes over her. Soon, this becomes her routine. She shows up, cries, accepts hugs, offers comfort. Families thank her, and for a while, it almost feels like she's doing something good, filling a void of grief that might otherwise feel empty. But then, she begins noticing things. Little things. The funeral director, Kendry, is unsettling. Thin, gaunt, skin like parchment, eyes that never quite focus. The building smells of bleach and smoke, like something clings to him. He never asks questions, never smiles, just hands her the schedule, the cash, and expects silence. Outside, it's always a man, tall, thin, standing across the street, smoking, shifting from foot to foot. He never speaks, never comes inside, just watches. At first, she brushes it off. Maybe he's a neighbor. Maybe he's just curious, okay? But he's there again, and again, and again. One funeral stands out. She meets a man who claims to be a doctor. Handsome, well-spoken, too polished to ignore. He offers condolences, just like she does. She remembers his face perfectly. A week later, she sees him on TV, not as a doctor, not in a hospital, but in an Arby's commercial. An actor thought her stomach drops. If he was pretending, then maybe the others were too. Maybe entire funerals were staged. It's paid actors, just like her, crying on cue, sitting in pews, it's playing their part in a theater of grief. She starts reviewing everything. In her mind, the stiff body language, case, the scripted condolences, the fact that nobody ever asked who she was. She digs deeper. Case, obituaries, case, social media, GoFundMe pages, nothing. It's like some of these dead people never existed. The funerals with the doctor, the smaller, quieter ones, didn't feel real. And that's when she looks outside again. The tall man. He's not just a passerby. He's there only for those services, always watching, always present. Then the truth hits her. The tall man wasn't mourning, wasn't family. It was the reason the funerals were happening at all. He had killed them. That's why there were no obituaries. That's why nobody outside the funeral home knew their names. That's why the grief had to be staged. He wanted the ritual. He wanted to watch his victims be mourned, to see a crowd of tears and tissues that he had orchestrated. And Kendry, the funeral director, he wasn't just a businessman. He was complicit, kept the bodies quiet, prepared the caskets, paid actors to fill the room, assured no one asked questions. Every tear she cried was for him, for his game, for his sick theater of death. She quits the next morning, tells Kendry she can't do it anymore. He doesn't argue. Just gives her a thin smile like he'd been expecting it. She plans to go to the police. She knows what she's seen. But that night, she swears she hears noises outside her apartment, presence in the dark. And when she looks out her window, she sees him, the tall man, standing, watching, waiting, and she knows what comes next. Actors will have to be hired to cry for her, and that's where her story ends. Whether it's true or fiction, I'll let you decide. But the thought of it lingers. The idea of grief being staged, of tears being bought, of killers watching their crimes transformed into performances. It's chilling. What do you think? Could a funeral be faked from start to finish? Or is this just another twisted tale from Reddit? Either way, I'll never look at a funeral the same way again. Thanks for watching Reddit Rewinds. We post stories like this every single day. Dark, creepy, and unforgettable. So if you enjoyed this one, feel free to subscribe and join us for the next story. No pressure, just whenever you're ready. For the next rewind,